JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man killed in Rollington Town was not a licensed firearm holder, say police. Head of the Kingston Eastern Police, Superintendent Michelle Campbell, says the man who was shot and killed in Rollington Town, Kingston, on Tuesday night was not a licensed firearm holder. The deceased, identified as Kevin Johnson, also known as Kali, was gunned down sometime after 4 p.m. inside a house on Rollington Avenue. It was reportedly accompanied to the premises by a woman. Reports emerged last night that a gun was allegedly taken from Johnson after the shooting, based on preliminary information from residents and law enforcement sources. However, Superintendent Campbell provided clarification today, stating, "We don't know if a firearm was taken from him. Investigation reveals that he is not the holder for a licensed firearm." Reports said that explosions were heard at the location, and the Johnsons later found suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. A gun was allegedly taken by the attackers, along with other personal items, including electronics and cash. Johnson was said to be a building contractor from Tavern in St. Andrew. A wrecker was called to remove the vehicle driven to the location. His killing has triggered an outpouring of grief in the community, where it was reportedly well known. The police investigation is ongoing. As of June 21, the Kingston Eastern Police Division recorded a 70% decline in murders, with 10 homicides since the start of the year, compared to 33 during the same period in 2024. Indicom probing another police fatal shooting in St. Catherine. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, is probing the fatal shooting of an unidentified man by the police during an alleged confrontation in St. Catherine on Tuesday. The police reportedly seized an illegal gun during the incident. According to reports, about 4:24 a.m., the police conducted an operation in Mickleton Meadows, Linstead, during which the man was allegedly armed with a handgun challenged them. The police reportedly took evasive action and fired, injuring the man. A Beretta pistol affixed with a magazine containing 1 round of ammunition was allegedly seized from him. It was taken to the Linstead Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Up to June 19, the police were being investigated for 154 fatal shootings since the start of 2025. 2 reported dead in St. Ann shooting. A taxi driver and his passenger were shot and killed in the vicinity of Miami Bay in St. Ann on Wednesday. The incident happened sometime after 1 p.m. It is understood that both men were traveling in a Toyota Probox motorcar when they were attacked by a man who was also posing as a passenger. Traffic was brought to a halt along the Droxall Miami Bay Main Road following the incident. The St. Ann police are investigating. Schoolboys attack on woman accused of stabbing students caught on video. A tense exchange between a woman and students on a coaster bus reportedly culminated in several students being stabbed and the woman being struck in the back of her head by a schoolboy, an incident that was captured on video. In one of the videos circulating on social media, several students are seen dispersing from a parked coaster bus when a woman enters the frame armed with a knife. She steps off the bus and is confronted by 2 men, one of whom appears to be the bus conductor. A heated exchange takes place, and then the woman stabs at one of the men while the apparent conductor attempts to restrain her. A second video shows the woman speaking with a policeman. When a schoolboy hits her on the back of her head with what appears to be a rock, she falls to the ground as the boy tries to run away. He is then pursued by the policeman. Checks with the police confirmed that they are aware of the incident, but they have not released further details or indicated whether an investigation is underway. However, according to a source, the incident stemmed from a confrontation between the woman and students on the coaster bus.
Alright, backstory behind this. She was on a bus, coaster bus. She and some students have an altercation where she used a knife to inflict wounds on about 4 students. I think one of them come from Oze, other schools. However, upon reaching Spanish Town, several calls were made to the police. She was talking to the police. However, the students who were still angry because she would have cut and stabbed a couple of them, and the police was taking her side in their eyes. So one of the students took revenge out of several of them, and that's how she got it. Not right, but it was coming from they being on a bus from the highway coming over from Alpha Street to Spanish Town. It was one of them bus that a lot of students were on, and she felt uncomfortable. She was out of place. Student bounced her. She take out knives, start cut up children. Doctor for come out, try for restrain her. Police call again. Them say for come to Spanish Town, make them arrest her or investigate what was happening. The students were taken to the hospital by themselves. Some of them never got to the hospital. Them just go home and seek medical attention.
Distress amid search for a boy swept away by floodwaters. As the search continued Tuesday for 11-year-old Desiree Smith Jr., a hearing-impaired boy washed away by floodwaters Monday afternoon, news emerged that at least one of the students narrowly missed being swept out to sea as well.
At the shop. And then now he see taxi and he say, him a go with him brother and he put on his rain clothes. And he was skipping, so he have to skip the water now, so I try skip the water, he must have bitten. And he drop somewhere half here, so. And the children him a try help him, but they couldn't help him, so he end up all one other little girl with him. And the ice cream man here when him a ball, he picked him a ball for help. So him run and try to take up a little girl. So he might take up a little girl, now a little girl haul him down in the water. And he managed to save a little girl, and he said take up a little girl and put her up on the banking back over his shop. And when he come back now, if he help a little boy, he not see little boy. So he run, follow that gutter, go right, because the gutter go right down to the sea. So he follow the gutter, run go down to the sea, and he can see little boy out in the sea. And in face, go adrift. So that's how it happened.
Desore's mother, Opal Greenfield, is heartbroken and angry. She said the school had a responsibility to watch the students. She said up to Tuesday afternoon, neither the security forces nor the school administration had provided her with an update about the search. Personal dispatch to the school by the Education Ministry facilitated grief and trauma counseling sessions for students, teachers, and the boys' relatives. Man pleads guilty to stealing $2 million. A man is now awaiting sentencing after entering a guilty plea for stealing $2 million from an unsecured vehicle parked outside a supermarket. Eric Bonner appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday to answer to the charge of simple larceny. According to court documents, the complainant withdrew $2 million in cash at a bank before proceeding to a supermarket. The money was reportedly left in a car, which the prosecution said was not securely locked. Bonner then removed the money from the vehicle. In court, the police indicated a video captured the accused in the act, but it had not been submitted into evidence when Bonner, through a raise of his hand, told the judge he was ready to plead. Senior Parish Judge Sanchia Burrell asked if the elderly man was sure he wanted to enter a plea without his attorney present, to which Bonner indicated, "I don't want to waste the court's time." He then pleaded guilty to the crime and was remanded in custody for a sentencing on October 15. U.S. Embassy announces implementation of social media vetting for certain visas. In line with a recent announcement by the U.S. State Department, the embassy in Kingston has announced that, effective immediately, all individuals applying for an F, M, or J non-immigrant visa are requested to adjust the privacy settings on all their social media accounts to public to facilitate vetting. A notice posted to the U.S. Embassy's website said the vetting is necessary to establish their identity and admissibility to the United States under U.S. law. In a notice on June 19, the State Department said it was restarting the suspended process for foreigners applying for student visas, but all applicants will now be required to unlock their social media accounts for government review. The department said consular officers will be on the lookout for posts and messages that could be deemed hostile to the United States, its government, culture, institutions, or founding principles. The department said it has rescinded its May suspension of student visa processing, but said new applicants who refuse to set their social media accounts to public and allow them to be reviewed may be rejected. It said a refusal to do so could be a sign they're trying to evade the requirement or hide their online activity. The Trump administration last month temporarily altered the scheduling of new visa interviews of foreign students hoping to study in the U.S., while preparing to expand the screening of their activity on social media, officials said. Dr. Chang credits police-civilian collaboration for record gun and ammo seizures this year. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has credited the record siege of illegal guns and ammunition so far this year to greater police-civilian collaboration. Dr. Chang, addressing the House of Representatives on Tuesday, said there has been an increase of more than 80% in the number of illegal guns seized this year over last year.
Since the start of the year, up to June 21, 2025, a total of 738 firearms were seized, marking an 81% increase over the corresponding period in 2024. In addition, 39,776 rounds of ammunition have been recovered so far this year, which is about 7 times the number recovered for the similar period in 2024. This particular figure is most relevant. What it represents is an increasing level of trust by the community in the police. What I now look at, instead of large numbers of homicides all over, is that every morning I can see significant number of firearms recovered by targeted operation. No one arrested and no reward requested, because the individuals are informing the police. Many of them young officers who they know from the community or from neighboring community, but they recognize and trust and provide them with the information to find the firearms that are killing Jamaicans.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.